Hey guys, welcome back to Creative Java Programming. In today's session, we are going to talk about types of constructor in Java. Let's talk about what are the types of constructor. In Java, constructor can be divided into four types. First one is no argument constructor. Second one, parameterized constructor. Third one, default constructor. Fourth one, copy constructor. What is no-Args constructor? As name specifies, the no argument constructor does not accept any argument. By using the no args constructor, we can initialize the class data members and perform various activities that we want on object creation. What is parameterized constructor? The constructor with parameters is called parameterized constructor. Default constructor, if we don't create any constructor, Java compiler automatically creates a no-arg constructor during execution of the program. This constructor is called the default constructor, or we can say that the constructor with no parameter is called default constructor. The constructor with no parameter is called default constructor. Copy constructor. What is copy constructor? A copy constructor is used to create an exact copy of an object. It takes an object of the same class as a parameter and copies its attribute. Means in copy constructor, one object with parameter is copied into another object, or we can also say that in this type of constructor, one object with parameter is copied into another object. So it is called copy constructor. Copy constructor. Let's see in practicals, step by step. So there is a class V and there is a main method, and I have also created object of class object. And what is the first constructor? Is no-Args constructor. No-Args constructor. So let's do multi comment. No-Args constructor, as the name specifies, no argument constructor does not accept any argument. By using the No-Args constructor, we can initialize the class data members and perform various activities that we want on object case. How? Let's see. Here class B, and by using No-Args constructor we can initialize class data members. So let's case class data members like integer n1 and integer n2. These are the data members. Data members means variables. Data mem and member function means method. Data member means variable and member function means method. So let's create a constructor. How we can create constructor? Using class name, and it has no return type. Constructor is created. ये क्या है? No-Args constructor. No-Args constructor. By using No-Args constructor, we can initialize the class data members and perform various activities that we want an object JSON. So these are the data members. So let's change its value. N1 is equal to 100 and N2 is equal to 200. Here object is created and object with no parameter, right? It calls No-Args constructor. So let's print SYSO and N1 equal to plus N. SYSO control space bar enter N2 colon space plus N2. But this is non-static members, and non-static members we cannot access directly. We have to create object, and using reference variable we can access non-static members. These are the non-static members. Non-static members. So using reference variable we can access. What is the reference variable of class B? B1. So B1 dot N1, right? And B1 dot N2, right? Let's run the program and see the output. Giving me output N1 100 and N2 200, right? So this is the No-Args constructor. Let's talk about parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Let's create another class C. So let's create main method, right? And create object of class C. C1 is equal to new C, right? But An object with parameter is called parameterized constructor. So let's create a constructor. Press Control and 1. Create constructor. Constructor is created. Public. Constructor name integer. Control D to remove comment or any line code we want to delete. So just type Control D. That's it. And let's create a non-static members integer n1 integer n1 comma integer n2 number 1 and number 2. Let's initialize this value. I is equal to n1 is equal to I and n2 is equal to j. Let's run the program and see the output. But this is the non-static members, so we have to call it syso control space n1 space plus c1 dot n1, right? syso control space bar n2 colon space plus c1 dot n2. Let's run the program and see the output. It's giving me output 100 and 200, right? Let's here pass to 200 in there, here 400. Let's see the output working, right? Let's create one more object. C2 is equal to new C. Pass here values 300 comma 600, right? And call n1 plus n c2 dot n1, right? syso control space bar n2 colon call the members c2 dot n2. Let's run the program and see the output. n1 200 into 400, n1 300 into 600. Means if we create once time object, then constructor will be called once. If we create two objects, then constructor will be called twice. Let's create one more class, like class D. One more example on parameterized constructor. Like I have created integer area, right? I am going to create here area of rectangle program in Java. How? Let's see. Created one non-static member integer area. Let's create constructor D and pass here parameter integer height height integer width, right? What is the formula of area of rectangle? Height into width. So area is equal to height into width. SYSO control space bar, enter area of rectangle, area of rectangle क्या होगा? Area, right? Let's create main method. MEA control space bar, enter. Create object of class D, D1 is equal to new D, right? But this is parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. So we have to pass the value. What is the height of rectangle? 15 and width 25. Let's keep. Let's run the program and see the output. It's giving me area of rectangle 375, right? So this an object with parameter is called parameterized constructor. We can say that. What is parameter constructor? If anyone asks, parameterized constructor. What we can say? An object with parameter is called parameterized constructor. Multi-command. An object with parameter is called parameterized constructor. Or we can say that a constructor with parameter is called parameterized constructor. Or we can say that both definition is correct. An object an constructor with parameter is called parameterized constructor. And constructor with no parameter is called default constructor. Let's see copy constructor. What is the copy constructor? No, default constructor. Let's talk about default constructor. Let's create one more class E. Default constructor. If we don't create any constructor, Java compiler automatically creates a no-arg constructor during the execution of the program. This constructor is called the default constructor, or we can say that the constructor with no parameter is called default constructor. How? Let's create a constructor with no parameter. Create main method. Create object of class E1 is equal to new E, right? Let's create some data member, like I want to find area of rectangle using default constructor. How? Let's see. Integer HEI height, integer VID width, right? And integer area. So let's initialize non-static members. So HEI height is equal to 15 and VIDTH width is equal to 25. What is the formula of area of rectangle? Area is equal to height into width, HEIGHT height into BIDTH width, right? Let's print SYSO, control space bar, enter area of rectangle, area of rectangle. क्या होगा? प्लस एरिया. Let's run the program and see the output. It's giving me output 375. And in parameterized constructor, we have to an object with parameter is called parameterized constructor. Like here, an object with parameter is called parameterized constructor. Here we have to pass parameter, and there is no need to call a constructor. Let's talk about copy constructor. What is the copy constructor? Let's create one more class app, multi command paste. What is copy constructor? A copy constructor is used to create an exact copy of an object. It takes an object of the same class as a parameter and copies its attributes. Or we can say that in this type of constructor, one object is with parameter is copied into another object. So it is called copy constructor. How? Let's see. Let's create a data members of. I want to find area of rectangle. So, like integer h height, integer width, integer area, right? Rect. Let's create constructor f, right? So, an constructor with parameter, an object with parameter. So, parameterized constructor. So, we have to create a parameterized constructor here first. So, create integer h is equal to integer like here what I did. Achha. Here integer area, integer height, width, and parameterized constructor passing the value here. So okay, so only area I have to declare integer area, right? Integer height and integer width. So what is the area formula? Area is equal to height into width. Yes, y, yes, so control space by enter. Area of rectangle. Area of rectangle. Area, right? Let's create main method. Create class f is equal to new f, and this is parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. So we have to pass values here. What are the values? 15 and 25, right? But what says copy constructor? Copy constructor says that one object with parameter is copied into another object. So what we have to do? One object. So let's create one more another object f1 is equal to new f, right? No, one object is copied into another object. So here I have to do f1 and here I am going to create f2. f2 is equal to f1. This object f1 is copied into object f2, right? Just run the program and see the output. Area of rectangle 375, right? It's giving me, but it's not giving the output of copy constructor. So for that we have to create one more method, right? Here we have to copy object. When will we create? When we use new keyword. But here we are not using new keyword. We are copying one object into another object. So we have to call the reference variable. So let's create a method void so and in that I have to pass this method. So let's call the method non-static. This is non-static method. Why so? So we have to call that so, right? And here we have to call f with reference to f2 dot so, right? Let's run the program and see the output. Area of rectangle 375 and area of rectangle 375. So one object is copied into another object. So this is copy constructor. Copy constructor. First object he copied into second object, right? So what we got to know today, types of constructor in Java. In Java, constructor can be divided into 4 types: No-Args constructor, parameterized constructor, default constructor, and copy constructor. And what are those? Let's see. No-Args constructor means an object with no arguments. It called No-Args constructor, and it does not accept any parameter. And by using No-Args constructor, we can initialize the class data members and perform various activities on that. Various activities that we want on object JSON. Here, this is non-static member means data members. So we can initialize and we can perform various activities on. And another one is this one is parameterized constructor. An object is with parameter is called parameterized constructor. Parameterized constructor. Okay, so a constructor and a on a the constructor with parameter is called parameterized constructor. Right? An object with parameterized constructor, right? And this is the area of rectangle program. Find the area of rectangle in Java using parameterized constructor. And this one is default constructor. An object with no parameter is called default constructor. If we don't create any args constructor, the Java compiler automatically creates a no-args constructor during the execution of the program, and this constructor is called default constructor. And last one is copy constructor. A copy constructor is to create an exact copy of an object, right? And in this type of constructor, one object with parameter is copied into another object, so it is called copy constructor, right? So that's all guys in today's session. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.